What is really happening to Michael J. Fox right now is difficult to watch. He once said he would rather die on stage than quit. For decades, that is exactly how he lived. He hid his tremors behind coffee mugs and clenched fists. He timed his medication to the second so the cameras would never catch what was really happening. And when the lights went down, he collapsed alone, waiting for the pain to pass before doing it all again. Now, at 64, something has shifted. The falls have been serious. The broken bones have added up. He uses a wheelchair more than he ever expected to. He has spoken openly about waking up each morning and waiting to learn what his body will allow that day. And yet, against every expectation, he is back on screen, back on stage, and still refusing to disappear. What is happening to Michael J. Fox right now is extraordinary and heartbreaking at the same time, and the people watching cannot quite decide whether to cheer or cry. Michael Andrew Fox was born on June 9, 1961, in Edmonton, Alberta, the fourth of 5 children in a family that was always moving. His father, Bill, was a sergeant in the Royal Canadian Corps of Signals, and the job kept them relocating constantly. Before Michael was 12, they had moved around 14 times. He was always the new kid, always small for his age, always learning to read a room fast and hide hurt behind humor. Those skills, forged out of loneliness, would eventually make him one of the most watchable performers of his generation. When the family finally settled in Burnaby, a working-class suburb near Vancouver, Michael discovered 2 things: hockey and drama class. The hockey dream died quickly. Coaches looked at his size and dismissed him almost on sight. But the drama room was different. On stage, everything that had made his life hard suddenly worked in his favor. His timing was instinctive, his energy was magnetic, and a teacher recognized it immediately. By 15, he had landed a role on a CBC sitcom called Leo and Me and was earning real money while most kids his age were still in school. At 17, he dropped out of high school and told his parents he was heading to Los Angeles alone. His father, rather than stopping him, drove him there himself. What followed was not a glamorous rise. It was macaroni and cheese, unpaid rent, and 3 years of relentless rejection. He even had to change his name. Born Michael Andrew Fox, he discovered another Michael Fox was already registered in the Screen Actors Guild. He chose the middle initial J as a tribute to actor Michael J. Pollard. Even his own name became an obstacle he had to navigate before the career could begin. Then came the call that changed everything, taken from a payphone outside a Pioneer Chicken restaurant because he could not afford a proper phone setup at home. The role was Alex P. Keaton on Family Ties, and what began as a supporting part quickly became the beating heart of the show. Fox made Alex so alive, so sharp, so strangely compelling, that viewers could not take their eyes off him. Even President Ronald Reagan reportedly named Alex as his favorite television character. 3 Emmy Awards and a Golden Globe followed. And then, simultaneously, Back to the Future. He filmed Family Ties by day and rushed to the movie set to work until 2 or 3 in the morning, then started over again. The studio had already filmed 6 weeks with another actor, Eric Stoltz, before deciding the tone was wrong. Fox stepped in, and Marty McFly became one of the most beloved characters in film history. The movie was the biggest box office hit of 1985. Through all of it, he was running on almost no sleep, hiding the cost of everything behind a performance that looked effortless. Family Ties also gave him something far more important than fame. It gave him Tracy Pollan, who played his girlfriend on the show. They married in 1988, and their son Sam arrived a year later. Fox has said many times since that meeting Tracy was the greatest gift his career ever gave him. He had no idea yet how much he would come to depend on that gift. In 1991, while filming Doc Hollywood in Florida, he noticed his left pinky finger twitching. He told himself it was nothing. A hangover. Too much coffee. A minor strain. But it did not stop, and then his shoulder began to stiffen, and then simple movements started feeling wrong. Doctors later told him that by the time those symptoms appeared, a significant portion of the dopamine-producing neurons in his brain were already gone. He was 29 years old, and he had early-onset Parkinson's disease. What followed was 7 years of concealment so precise it bordered on performance art. He took his medications in ways that had no therapeutic value, timing the doses to peak right when cameras rolled so his left arm would stay steady through a take. On Spin City, from 1996 onward, he played Deputy Mayor Mike Flaherty with such infectious energy that audiences thought his restlessness was pure charm. They had no idea he was twisting on the floor of his dressing room between scenes while the tremors came back harder than before. And underneath all of it, alcohol. Fox has been direct about this: he was an alcoholic. He was drinking 4 glasses of wine plus shots daily, not out of celebration but out of terror. He was afraid of the wheelchair, afraid of losing the career that had defined him, afraid of what the disease would eventually demand. In 1993, Tracy looked at him and asked one question: "Is this what you want to be?" He went to Alcoholics Anonymous. He went to therapy. By 2023, he had been sober for 30 years. In 1998, he told the truth publicly in a cover story for People magazine. He had been living with Parkinson's since 29, and the world had never known. Shortly after, he appeared before the U.S. Senate and pushed for a dramatic increase in federal research funding, telling lawmakers that patients had become involuntary experts on their own disease, and what they needed was not sympathy but action. 2 years later, he co-founded the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's Research, which has since grown into the world's largest private funder of Parkinson's research. By 2025, it had raised over $2.5 billion. He kept acting through all of it. His role as the manipulative lawyer Lewis Canning on The Good Wife earned him 4 Emmy nominations. He used his own dyskinesia on screen rather than hiding it, folding the very thing that had once terrified him into the character's power. Critics called it some of his best work since the diagnosis. But the body kept pressing harder. In 2018, surgeons found a non-cancerous spinal tumor pressing against his spinal cord. A surgeon at Johns Hopkins performed a procedure requiring extraordinary precision. One wrong move could have caused permanent paralysis. After surgery, Fox had to relearn how to walk. Then he slipped in his kitchen, shattered his left humerus, developed a severe infection in his hand, and nearly lost it. He broke other bones. He injured his shoulder, his orbital bone, his cheek. He eventually stopped saying life was lemonade. His 2023 documentary, Still, did not protect him. It opened everything up. The drinking, the pills, the tricks, the fear, and the way mortality had moved from a distant worry to a daily presence. It premiered at Sundance, went to Apple TV+, and won 4 Emmy Awards. In it, Fox told Jane Pauley plainly, "It is getting harder. Every day it is tougher." And yet, in January 2025, he received the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the nation's highest civilian honor, from President Biden, recognized for his extraordinary contributions to Parkinson's research. That same year, after a 5-year acting retirement, he returned to the screen with a guest role in Shrinking Season 3, playing a character with Parkinson's disease. He told USA Today he lives on the edge of his energy now, but added, "It's a trade-off. I want to be around for everything." In a recent interview, now 64, he described rolling around in a wheelchair a lot, and admitted it took some getting used to, though he still reaches for the same line: "You take the good, and you seize it." Michael J. Fox Foundation +2. In April 2026, he made a surprise appearance at PaleyFest LA for the Shrinking Season 3 wrap event at the Dolby Theater in Hollywood, bringing down the house and hinting he would be open to returning for Season 4. His representative, responding to false online rumors that week, said simply, "Michael is doing great." He was on stage and giving interviews. Yahoo! He also published his 5th book in October 2025, Future Boy: Back to the Future and My Journey Through the Spacetime Continuum, a memoir about the making of the film that made him a legend. Meanwhile, the Michael J. Fox Foundation awarded $101 million in new research grants in December 2025 and January 2026 to accelerate Parkinson's treatments, pressing forward on biomarkers, genetic therapies, and adaptive deep brain stimulation. Wikipedia: The Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's Research. There is something almost impossible about the shape of this man's life. He was the new kid who never had a home. He was the boy too small for the hockey team. He was the broke Canadian teenager living out of payphones and macaroni boxes. He was the star hiding a disease from 40 million people. He was the man who nearly lost his hand, who who shattered bones on his kitchen floor, who had to learn to walk again in his 50s. And he is the same person who just walked onto a stage in Hollywood and brought the room to its feet. What is happening to Michael J. Fox right now is not easy to watch. The disease has taken things it will not give back, and he has never pretended otherwise. But what is also happening is a man at 64, on the edge of his energy, still choosing to show up. Still choosing the work. Still choosing the people around him. Still pushing a foundation that has raised billions to fight the thing that has been trying to stop him for 35 years. He said he would rather die on stage than quit. He has not quit yet.